follow through the story and to learn at the end exactly what we can do, especially those of us who have children and grandchildren, what we can get them to do to continue on the track of rising and shining, not just for Africa, also for Nigeria, also for our families, and also for us as individuals. This is the way that I would like to welcome you today, but one word for Jim himself. Jim Ovia is telling this story because he feels a sense of responsibility. He knows what he has come through in order to make the impact that he has made on our society, but he believes that there's something we can all learn from what he has come through. Therefore, I urge everyone who is here at this event and who will read the book not to miss the opportunity of finding out what there is to be learned from this story that we're being told. Jim, I will talk to you personally now. There's something they say, my people say something. They say that if you're standing by the stream, a stream of water, because you are thirsty and you need to drink, they pray for you that that water that is meant for you to drink will not flow past you, will not flow away from you. And I think your story, Jim, confirms this. The water that is meant for you will not flow past you. But your story tells us something else. If that water is not to flow past you, when it arrives where you are, you have to bend down, scoop it up, and actually drink it. It takes effort to bend down and scoop it up. And only as you make that effort will you get to drink that water. By the grace of Almighty God, you have bent down, you have scooped the water, and you've actually drunk the water. Congratulations. God bless you. Where is the owner of this mic?
Thank you, sir. Please put your hands together for him one more time. Next, we're going to enjoy the privilege of a few friends of our chairman and founder, Zenith Bank, who have been privileged to get the book before it was released to people. Being a wise man, he didn't just put it out there. He sent it out to a few of his friends who had a chance to read the book. They reviewed it and told him their perspective on some of his thoughts. And today we'll also get to enjoy that perspective as they come out, possibly read a few excerpts of the book as well, and tell us their thoughts. Starting off, that list of distinguished readers will be a friend of his who has been his friend for several years now. He is the president of the Dangote Group. He is the founder of the Dangote Foundation. He is quite a phenomenal gentleman, one of the few people in Africa that has built their wealth totally, completely from Africa, changing the African narrative of being a poor country. So his story also must reflect in this book. And today he's ably represented by his ever beautiful daughter and quite an industry leader herself, Halima Dangote. Please put your hands together for her as she makes her way to the stage as our first reader and first person to share their perspective on the book, Africa, Rise and Shine. The ever lovely Halima, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for her as she makes her way to the stage.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Amy Osibajo, Uncle Jim, and please I'd like to stand on existing protocol, because I can see a lot of my uncles, and if I don't recognize any of them, I'll be in deep trouble. I spoke to my dad yesterday, and I asked him for a few words. I know I'm supposed to read from the book, which I would, but one thing I heard very loud and clear, apart from Uncle Jim being one of his best friends, he actually sees him as a mentor as well, and he's actually one of his good friends that he calls for advice. But the main thing I heard from him yesterday was he is the most gifted and innovative banker in Nigerian history. As I'm not Aliko Dangote, I'm Halima Aliko Dangote. The little that I know is Uncle Jim is always a phone call from me, and I know that solely based on the respect he has for Alija Aliko Dangote. But I'm here to read chapter 6 of this wonderful book. I wanted to read the whole book last night, but I can't even see where I stopped. So I'll just read from the chapter. Commencing operations at Zenith Bank. To be a CEO is a calling. You should not do it because it is a job. It is a calling, and you have got to be involved in it with your head, heart, and hands. Indra Nui, PepsiCo CEO. As soon as we received our banking license and registered it at the government registry, we promptly called each member of the senior staff of my bank, to whom we had sent letters of employment 4 weeks earlier, and told them to commence work during that month. They were not sure where to commence work, for we did not have any proper banking buildings. At that time, there was no suitable office building we could rent. I had been using a temporary one-room office with my secretary handling all the administrative work for me. Several weeks earlier, I had found a residential 4-bedroom duplex on Ajose Adeogun Street on Lagos, Victoria Island. The building was a duplex. A tenant and his wife occupied one side, and our office space was on the other. It soon proved to be unworkable for a bank to share a duplex with private residents. It was not easy for the residents either, with the noise of cars coming to the bank and the heavy foot traffic of customers coming in and out. With the constant influx of banking clients, the private driveway of the other tenants was often encroached upon or blocked. Though it was not my intention to cause them disruption, it was nonetheless unavoidable. I knew it was only a matter of time before they would move away, and within 3 months, they did. The first Zenith office. Although I sincerely regretted causing inconvenience to the tenants, I could not help but be pleased with the prospect of them moving out, since it would allow Zenith Bank to have the remainder of the space to do business. That was our inauspicious beginning, but very soon we would be creating jobs for hundreds and then thousands of people and paying huge amounts of taxes to the government in the process. Thank you. So this